Hey fam, EndScene back with a Valentine's Day special. So snuggle up with your significant other, or not so significant, I don't judge. And let's dissect the cinematic Hallmark card from 1981 that says, "If you bring me another CVS heart of chocolate, I'ma cut ya!" And its angsty, brooding stepson that refuses to call you anything other than by your first name, even though you always bring him his favorite pizza rolls without him even asking. But I digress. So come take this ride with me through what you've missed in My Bloody Valentine, 1981's original versus the 2009 reboot. And let me know in the comments which version you like the best, and if there's another original versus remake I should do. One of the first things that I noticed in watching these two films is apparently in 1981, they all just really wanted to have a good time. They smiling and laughing in the shower, racing through the town at the risk of physical harm to their passengers and townfolk alike, having a few brews, scaring old ladies half to death. Whereas in 2009, they're all so serious. Everyone is so dour, hating each other and skulking around like a furrowed brow is a fashion statement. Each story is about a psychotic coal miner that goes on a rampage, kills a bunch of people, disappears for a decade or two, and then comes back to killing. In 1981, as told by the old grizzled barkeep, on the night of the annual Valentine's Day dance, Harry Warden and 4 other miners were trapped in a collapsed tunnel due to the negligence of their anxious supervisors that wanted to get to the party. After 6 weeks of digging, Harry was found alive and as crazy as a bedbug, and eaten the supple forearm of a former coworker and best man at his wedding, Carl Stevens. Harry believed that he was consuming the essence of a man he trusted and respected. All right, no he wasn't. He was just crazy and desperate. After a year in a mental institution, Harry returned to the town and exacts revenge on the supervisors, removing their hearts and warning the town that if they ever continue the Valentine's Day celebrations, the killings will continue. You would think in a town called Valentine's Bluff, they could figure out how to play that off, right? So, I gotta say this. I get it. You spend 6 weeks underground, you have to make some tough choices, including dabbling in a little cannibalism to survive. That dangling cotter pin that was holding your sanity together slipped out about 2 weeks in. Then you come for the other guys that almost killed you. I'm not condoning murder, but you could have worse reasons to rip out somebody's heart, right? So on a scale of a justifiable homicide to a senseless killing, the 1981 Harry Warden gets a 1.5 Charles Manson heads from me. Smack in the middle of the 3D craze of the mid to late 2000s, our Bloody Valentine remake took advantage of a swinging pickaxe to distract you from the retread. In this 2009 gem, it's TJ, the mine owner's son, that slacks off, causing an explosion in cave-in, trapping 6 miners that included our friend Harry. A mere 6 days later, Harry was found surrounded by 5 dead bodies, but not from the collapse, but a bludgeoning to the head with, you guessed it, a pickaxe. Somehow, Harry is rushed to the hospital incoherent and then ends up in a coma for a year. Upon waking up, Harry rampages through the hospital, slaughtering the nurses and doctors. No apparent reason, no apparent atrophy, and then is apparently told to sashay away and leaves a goodbye note for his squirrel friends. So, this dude was in there for 6 days. They mentioned that he wanted to preserve the limited oxygen, and here we go again, right? Tough choices and all. But wouldn't his next stop be at TJ's place? Why shred the nurses in the hospital or anyone else? On our killer scale, our 2009 Harry Warden gets the full 4 Manson heads. Back in 1981, 20 years after the Valentine's Day murders, this TJ disappears for a couple of years to find himself and came back with his best girl dating his coworker Axel. To deal with this like men, they share some booze and they harmonize harmonicas. Okay. They do take a couple of swings at each other at one point, but when Sarah is in danger, they team up to save her. Now in 2009, TJ disappears for 10 years and then comes back only after his father dies. He now owns controlling interest in the mine, which he promptly wants to sell, imploding the financial lifeblood of this sleepy town, which you would figure might make him the target. Mysteriously, upon his return to the town, folks start turning up dead again. Now in 1981, the cops try to find out what happened to Harry. They know he was put in a mental institution, but his records have disappeared. Whereas in 2009, some of the townfolk go all Nightmare on Elm Street and kill Harry themselves with the sheriff covering it up. Or did they? So, 1981 establishes that we might have another Michael Myers-esque escape, while in 2009, we're torn between a copycat or the supernatural. Personally, I hope it's this guy. Now, for all of you with minimal tolerance for one-trick pony horror flicks, here are my spoilers and my thoughts for which one did it better. In 1981, as the bodies start to pile up and the heart-shaped boxes get saturated, the hunt for Harry's whereabouts becomes frantic. Our killer rampages through the mine, hacking up all the partygoers when Chief Wiggum gets a call. Harry has been dead for 5 years. So who the hell's the killer? Tune in next week for our thrilling conclusion. Nah, I'll give it to you now. It's Axel. We find out that Axel is one of the supervisor's sons and he witnessed his dad getting killed. So riddle me this. This is a tiny little town. Everyone knows each other. This town is now famous for having Harry flip the hell out and kill a few folks, including this dude's father. Wouldn't everyone know that his father was killed? And that Valentine's Day is the anniversary of that tragedy? And this kid has been working with these guys, showering, sharing a beer, and apparently a girlfriend with these guys his whole life? But he waited 20 years to go on a killing spree? But the ending is the best, so stick around. In 2009, we already know it's not Harry. But who is it? Is he the new Jason? Can he not be killed? They're leaving clues that it could be TJ, or maybe it's Axel. Again, both locals from the town, but TJ did go ghost for 10 years. There's a final standoff with the wife/old girlfriend and holding them both up at gunpoint when we get a visitor from behind. Shoot him, he screams, but no one seems to care. 'Cause it's all in Bruh's head. TJ, witnessing the real Harry kill a nameless, half-faceless girl, traumatized him so much that he became the copycat killer. But wait, has he been possessed by Harry?
He's here. Aren't you, Harry? You living inside, Tom?
Oh, I'm right here.
One last hint at the supernatural, and in my opinion, the coolest effect in this entire movie. So the final 09 fight scene causes a small cave-in, trapping TJ. A false move from the rescuer results in one more spike to the head and an unlikely escape. But the 1981 version wins the cliffhanger for a sequel war. After TJ is trapped in a similar cave-in, he saws his own arm off and escapes, hurling threats to the entire town over his shoulder as he bellows to Harry's ghost down the tunnel. So what do you think? Which My Bloody Valentine are you cuddling up to? Let me know in the comment section. And while you're there, like, subscribe, share, hell, dislike if it floats your boat. Just show me you got an opinion, damn it. Are there other original versus remakes you think I should review? I've shown you mine's. Now you show me yours. Share the video and make sure you come on back for the next installment of What You've Missed.